This is my review for Squatch Detective Radio. I didn't forget about it. Squatch Detective Radio from this past Sunday, the other night. The guest was Bill Munns, and it was a great show. I really enjoyed it. He talked a lot about his techniques in studying the Patterson-Gimlin film. That he had attempted an experiment, or he had attempted to raise money for an experiment. He was going to make an attempt to recreate the Patterson-Gimlin film, or attempt to. And he did. I don't think he got the money for that. Unfortunately, he tried though. Anyway, other subjects that he talked about were the massacre theory, which was brought up by Bill Green. He said that he didn't think that there. He was actually asked about the work of M.K. Davis, actually, and it went into the massacre stuff. Bill said that he liked M.K.'s work at first, but then started noticing mistakes on M.K.'s behalf, and that M.K. just kind of started going off the deep end, unfortunately. And that was one thing that Bill has struggled against and has fought against, is going off the deep end with any theorizing on the PG film. And then he also talked about the possibility. Steven Stroyford asked if he was going to be going into the PG film site. He said he was going to try to. Only thing is, the Patterson-Gimlin film site has been closed off to the general public and closed off to anybody trying to get in there because of snow and all kinds of problems. It's hard to get in there. It's extremely difficult to get in there. The last thing he talked about was some of his future plans on the PG film, that he's still working on it, and that he's hoping, to end the project soon, but it's going to be a while. Bill's doing a good thing. I think he's doing a great thing for the film, to preserve it. To preserve the film is a great thing. Next week, Steve is going to be he's going to be jumping into the DNA controversy. I'm referring to the recent controversy that's come up where there's been so much he said, she said stuff going on, referring to the DNA study that's going on. That'll begin next Sunday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, www.blogtalkradio.com/The Squatch Detective. And as always, we do encourage you to please tune in and support great research. This is my review for Abe's show, MNBRT Radio. It was a great show, as always, Abe. Darren Richardson was the guest, and he talked about his experiences. He talked about the sighting he had in 1991 while Civil War reenacting, that he saw this thing in the middle of the night on a railroad track, and how it affected his life ever since then. Now, initially he thought Bigfoot was a made-up character. He experienced Bigfoot as far as on television. He'd seen the $6 Million Man. He'd seen Bigfoot and Wild Boy. On Bigfoot and Wild Boy, Bigfoot was was along with Wild Boy, kind of like the Batman and Robin of the forest. And also on the $6 Million Man, Bigfoot was the villain. So Darren still thought it was a made-up character until he had his sighting, and then that's when his perspectives on the whole thing really changed. Darren calls himself a former researcher. He's not really a researcher. He's more of an enthusiast these days. He doesn't research because he doesn't go out and look for Sasquatch. He says that it's better just to leave them alone. He also talked about some experiences that happened in the ravine that he lived in the Dalles, Oregon, for about a year. And that was in 2007 to 2008. And he's written about all these experiences in his book, Bigfoot and I, A Personal Journey into the World of Sasquatch. Which I recommend the book, by the way. It's a great book. He also talked about talked a little bit about his Civil War reenacting and things like that. That seems to be the bulk of what he does these days, is his Civil War reenacting. He posts his photographs on his Facebook page of the reenactments. Pretty cool stuff. Darren said something which I thought was interesting. He said that there are no professional Bigfoot researchers. There are no professional Bigfooters. Despite what some may say, there are no professional Bigfooters. We're all amateurs. And he's right. He's right. We're all amateurs. Anyway, 5 stars as always, Abe. Great show. Enjoyed it very much. I don't know what Abe has planned for next week, but again, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, www.blogtalkradio.com/MNBRT. And as always, we do encourage you to please tune in and support great research. Oh, one other thing. For Squatch Detective Radio, you can also check out SquatchDetectiveRadio.com, just in case you want to check out what's coming up on his show. Anyway, catch you guys later. Bye.